Hi, I'm Dwayne Brown. Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, when robots rule the world, these students may be calling the shots, the competition that rewards talent, creativity, and teamwork.
And from golf courses to cemeteries, businesses and homes, cut your water use by 25% or face steep fines. I'm Peggy Pico with what San Diego is doing to meet new statewide water restriction mandates and how they'll be enforced. Plus, will the gas plant in Carlsbad be replaced? If it is, how much will it cost and who will wind up paying for it?
I'm here personally to get exercise. The only way I'll get exercise is if I can pretend to be a Jedi.
Okay. May the Force be with you. The workout transforming flabby muscles into Jedi-worthy opponents. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Hi, good evening. Thanks for joining us. A San Diego lawmaker wants to set guidelines for how body cameras should be used by police officers. Assemblywoman Shirley Weber introduced a bill to stop officers from viewing the footage before they submit their reports to prosecutors. The issue is being reviewed in Sacramento. We're also learning more about how many departments are actually using body cameras. Chula Vista Police Chief David Bejarano says it's about 20% statewide. He's also head of the State Police Chiefs Association. Bejarano says the technology helps officers as much as it helps the community.
Our district attorney's office now can access that information online, so they have a picture beyond the narrative. So we're going to be seeing it, and other cities have seen more successful prosecutions.
I think people, once they start realizing that we have cameras, I think they tend to be more civilized and more professional.
Chula Vista Police began piloting body cameras in 2010 and rolled them out across the entire department in January. Police in Coronado and San Diego also used the cameras. Carlsbad, La Mesa, El Cajon, and the County Sheriff's Department plan to follow suit. It looks like there may be another snag in California's program offering driver's licenses to people who are living in the country illegally. DMV has issued more than 200,000 licenses so far, but some immigrants from Asia and Africa say they are running into problems. One of the issues, the DMV list of approved passports leaves out a number of countries, including Vietnam and Ethiopia. Those applicants have to go through a second interview and provide more documentation.
California is the first state who provides a chance to immigrants from every single nation in the world to get a license under AB 60, and that's because we established the secondary review process. Under the secondary review process, if you're from a country whose documents, whose consular documents are not, do not meet the requirements set by DMV, or who you are unable to get those consular documents, even if they are accepted, then you still have a chance.
The second interview and documentation process may delay the application by 90 days. There's a new pay bump at McDonald's. The fast food chain announced it will raise wages for workers at its company-owned locations here in the U.S. Now, this represents about 10% of restaurants. On July 1st, starting wages will be $1 more than the local minimum wage. By 2016, the average hourly wage at McDonald's is expected to be more than $10 an hour. Fast food workers continue their fight for higher wages here in California. Child care workers and teachers are joining them in a movement known as the Fight for 15. They are demanding their pay be raised to $15 an hour. Some child care workers say they make so little they can't afford basic needs without taxpayer help, like food or child care for their own children.
They should be able to not live in poverty trying to teach our children the next generation. And so we're trying to raise them out of poverty so they can do for their children, because even though they're in poverty, they can't even do their own children to bring them out. So it's just going to be a cycle that keeps going on years and years if we don't do something about it.
They plan to launch strikes around the country on Tax Day, April 15th, to raise awareness about their cause. President Obama hails the new Iran framework as a historic understanding. The U.S., Iran, and 5 other world powers announced a deal today over Iran's nuclear program. After marathon negotiations, Secretary of State John Kerry and foreign ministers say they have outlined limits on the program. The goal is to stop it from leading to atomic weapons. Negotiators are expected to come up with a comprehensive agreement within 3 months. President Obama says if the framework leads to a final deal, it will make the U.S. and the world safer.
If we can get this done, and Iran follows through on the framework that our negotiators agreed to, we will be able to resolve one of the greatest threats to our security and to do so peacefully.
Our coverage on the new Iran framework continues tonight on the PBS NewsHour. That starts at 7 right here on KPBS. San Diego's mayor says the governor's order to cut water use by 25% will require us to reduce water use like never before. Peggy Pico has specifics on what will change and how much non-compliance could cost you.
After 4 years of drought, a nearly non-existent snowpack, and the first ever statewide order for mandatory water restrictions, Mayor Kevin Faulconer announced the city immediately began to work with local water suppliers, businesses, and the State Water Board to reduce water use to meet the mandated 25% cut. Joining me with what we can expect next is my guest, San Diego's Public Utilities Director, Hala Razik. And Hala, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, what has the mayor told you so far about the next steps?
So we just received the order yesterday. We are reading it very carefully, and I've been in several conversations with folks I work with in Sacramento to try and understand exactly what that really means for San Diego. As you know, we've done a pretty good job in cutting our water use since 2007. We're down about 18%. But because of how bad the drought situation is throughout the state, the governor is asking for the water cutback to be 25% as compared to 2013. So depending on how well we've done so far, we might get some credits for that, and that is what we're looking into right now.
Some credits for the water conservation that we've already
for the fact that
done.
We've conserved so far.
Since last November, San Diego's mandatory water restrictions included limiting lawn watering to city scheduled 3 days per week, restricted automobile washing at homes, and among other things, it prohibits mostly washing down paved areas. Those are just a few of the ways that we've saved water. But we are in our 4th year of drought. Did the city anticipate or prepare for these mandatory restrictions, either from the state or self-imposed ones?
We've been working with the San Diego Water Authority and the Metropolitan Water District because we were anticipating in April that there will be some mandatory water cutbacks coming from them. Honestly, the governor order trumps a lot of that work that's been done. So while we've been preparing, this is a lot bigger and it's going to be more involved. So we're going to be working on figuring out how to reach these goals.
And I know it's very soon since the announcement, but as you said, it is very involved. The new statewide water restrictions require local governments to do a lot more, like, for instance, offer rebate programs to help consumers replace water guzzling appliances, implement tiered water pricing. New homes and developments will have irrigation restrictions on what they can put in and how much they can water. And it also supports the city's ability to enforce water abuser fines up to $500 per day. What are San Diego fines right now, and how will the city enforce any fines?
The municipal code actually does have and has had for a while a limit for us to actually impose fines up to $2,500 for egregious type of fines. We have been really lucky here in San Diego because as we tell residents and businesses that there is a violation, all actually have been corrected. And last time when we were in water use restrictions, we only issued one fine. So we are going to have to increase our enforcement effort quite a bit, and fines will be levied. So it would be really important for everybody to follow the water use restrictions.
Well, I know the new order also requires golf courses, cemeteries, large commercial landscaping to significantly cut water use. There are over 90 golf courses here in San Diego County, and only a handful that I could find use recycled water. What will the city do to get compliance with these large commercial areas, either private or public areas of landscaping?
We have, in fact, started that work. The mayor is meeting with the largest water users next week. We had planned for this meeting even before this order came out. And basically the plan is to share with them the dire water supply situation, learn what are some of the things that they've done, and see what the city can do to help them do even more.
And we'll have to end on this. I know one other mandate is that the city and county must replace much of their lawns in public medians or public walkways. So who will pay for that lawn conversion?
Well, we're looking at the possibilities. As you know, we do have a turf replacement rebate program. The city of San Diego, we ran out of money. We're putting some more money into it. The Water Authority as well is going to be doing that, and Metropolitan Water District. So there are some opportunities for getting some rebates for turf replacement.
All right, Hala Razik, thanks so much, and we look forward to hearing more about this.
Thank you.
Southern California televangelist Robert Schuller died early today. He was known to millions for his television ministry, The Hour of Power. He started preaching in 1955 and founded the landmark Crystal Cathedral in the early 80s. The church filed for bankruptcy in 2010 and was later bought by the Roman Catholic Church. Over the next 4 decades, Islam is expected to grow faster than any other major religion worldwide. A study by the Pew Research Center says the religion will nearly equal Christianity by 2050. Islam may eclipse it around the year 2070 if current trends continue. The study shows Hindus will grow to reach more than 1 billion people. The State Public Utilities Commission will decide next week if construction of a new natural gas plant in Carlsbad can move forward. Peggy Pico takes a look at the pros and cons of the proposal.
The Utilities Commission vote is the next step following California's Energy Commission approval of replacing Carlsbad's aging Encina power plant with a new 600-megawatt gas plant, which would supply electricity during periods of high demand for power. Here with what's at stake are my guests from San Marcos, KPBS North County Bureau Chief Allison St. John, and in studio, Bill Powers with Protect Our Communities Foundation. And Allison, we'll start with you. Who's proposing the new natural gas plant, and why do they say we need it?
Well, this is a contract between NRG, a power company that would like to build the plant, and SDG&E that would like to use it to bolster its power supplies for us residents here in San Diego.
Well, we invited SDG&E to actually join us here, but they declined our invitation. So, Allison, once again, how much do we know? Do we know how much this project would cost, and who will be paying for it?
Well, it would cost about $2.6 billion over 20 years, and the reason that it's supposed to be so important is because the San Onofre nuclear power plant went offline. That was 2,200 megawatts, and this is one way that SDG&E can make up the power that was lost through that power plant.
I see. And Bill, your group, along with other environmental groups like Sierra Club, actually opposed this project. How come?
For 2 reasons. One, the demand isn't there to justify building another plant at Encina. And 2, state law requires that we use clean solutions to meet new demand, energy efficiency, rooftop solar, energy storage. And in this case, SDG&E and the proponent, NRG, have gone straight to the old status quo, gas-fired power plant as the solution.
But getting back to the demand, haven't they said that we do indeed, they're anticipating a demand for more energy?
I was in that proceeding, and that was a highly controversial element of the proceeding, that all of this is based on future demand projections. We've had almost no demand growth in a decade in San Diego, and yet these projections keep showing major growth over time, which just hasn't been there. It's a new era, and that's not reflected in these proceedings.
Well, given the county that the county will be losing the Encina power station, I believe in 2017. Is that it? And the shutdown of San Onofre. How would the region make up if we lost that and San Onofre? How would we make up energy through renewable sources?
We would add them, as we are now. Add more energy efficiency, add more energy storage. We have a boom going on right now in the San Diego area of rooftop solar systems. All of these elements contribute to meeting that need on those peak days in the future.
And Allison, let me ask you this: do Carlsbad residents what are they saying about this? Are they in support of this new power plant?
Carlsbad, the city of Carlsbad, initially opposed this project because you can imagine they did not really like having a power plant on their valuable coastal real estate. However, they have come now to an agreement with the company. They will have the big smokestack torn down. They will be given some land by SDG&E. So the city is on board. The residents are still somewhat uncomfortable about the way that it's going to affect their environment, and they showed slides at the hearing yesterday to the effect that it would look a bit like a wasteland on either side of the freeway with big transmission lines, even though the smokestack is torn down. However, you know, we have to balance the local issues. I think there was a lot of talk about Caltrans planting new trees to provide cover for the new plant. We have to balance those with the more big issues, the regional issues about what kind of energy we are going to be buying in order to supply our future, bearing in mind that climate change is changing, and so since this plant was first proposed, the whole environment has really changed.
All right, I'll say thanks to you, KPBS North County Bureau Chief Allison St. John, and back to you, Bill, here in the studio. The Public Utilities Commission has been the target of some unfavorable publicity recently concerning accusations of collusion between energy companies and the PUC's former chairman, Michael Peavy. Do you think that could affect this upcoming vote?
Definitely. I think the Commission is currently under a tremendous amount of political pressure for the exposure that it's getting as being far too close to the industry that it regulates. And I think that one of the political cards in play now is a temporary denial of this Carlsbad plant could buy the Commission a little favorable publicity in the midst of a storm of controversy. But this is very similar to Pio Pico, the plant that was approved down on the border, where there was initial denial. It was a light denial, allowing an almost immediate reapplication, which SDG&E did. And shortly thereafter, Pio Pico was approved, and it's under construction. And this same situation could happen at Carlsbad.
All right. Well, we have a lot more on our website, kpbs.org. Bill Powers, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Bring on the gadgets and gizmos. Dozens of robots are preparing to compete in San Diego this weekend. KPBS reporter Matt Bowler gives us a preview.
58 teams from Southern California are at the Valley View Casino Center getting their robots ready for competition. Some of the teams are new and some are small, but they've all got a shot at coming out on top. High school robotics teams are taking over the sports arena for the 9th year in a row. Some of the teams have as many as 40 members, and some, like La Puente High, have as few as 5. La Puente is about 40 minutes east of LA. 17-year-old Diego Navarro says his team may be small in number, but they're big in heart.
It doesn't really matter about the numbers. It matters who's working and how much you dedicate towards the robot.
Navarro says small teams like his may not have much money, but they have a great experience.
So we actually get to know how every item that we have on there, we get to know how it works. We have to manufacture, build, put together everything, so we mainly know more.
Xavier Valadorez is from Southwest High near the border. It's their first year in the competition. He says the experienced teams and the big teams support the smaller and newer teams.
And everything that they do, we can pick up as strategies and tips. I mean, they're just our mentors, our guidance.
The organization First Robotics runs the contest. For Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, or FIRST, was founded in 1989 and has spread across the nation. David Berggren from the First Robotics Competition says while it is a contest, they have a tradition of cooperation that goes along with the competition.
Really supporting each other, sharing ideas, sharing equipment, and really working together.
Berggren says the friendly spirit turns the event into almost a carnival.
It's sort of parts, sporting events, part Comic-Con, part robotics competition.
This year's contest will have robot teams stacking plastic bins. The contest is free and open to the public Friday and Saturday. The top 6 teams go on to the First Robotics World Championship competition in St. Louis at the end of April. Matt Bowler, KPBS News.
I'm Gwen Eiffel on the next News Hour. As Easter approaches, the fight over what Cadbury chocolates are sold in the U.S. That's Thursday on the PBS News Hour.
If you hate going to the gym to get your cardio workout on, KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando has a geeky alternative. She lets members of the new San Diego Lightsaber Team explain what a Jedi workout is all about.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Clark. I'm with the Lightsaber Team. We're here in Balboa Park, and we're starting our first meeting of the San Diego Lightsaber Team.
But thank you and welcome, welcome, welcome.
We're really excited for everyone to be here. We're going to take care of some business first as we get started. I have some liability waivers here. I'm part of a group that works up in Inland Empire, Lightsaber Team up there, who does fitness and choreography with lightsabers. I absolutely love what they do. It's just a little hard to drive to Inland Empire for regular meetings. So I thought let's have one here in San Diego. I'm sure there's other people who'd love to come out and play with lightsabers.
I get to have a lightsaber, I get to flail, and I get to fight, and I am an only child, and I am non-confrontational in real life, so this seems like a really good combination of fake fighting, looking good, getting a lightsaber, and then not getting hurt.
Well, I saw on meetup.com that there was a lightsaber group, which is cool. I love sci-fi and I love Star Wars. I've also been studying historic European martial arts for a while, so a long sword and a lightsaber, it's more or less the same thing, so I thought I'd give it a try.
I realized that, Star Wars is one of the things that makes me happy, and I wanted to incorporate my hobby along with my workout time and my socialization time. I wanted to find my tribe. I wanted to find people who liked the things I like, could understand my references, and enjoy the things that I enjoy.
I'm a really, really big geek. I'm a Star Wars fan, and I'm here personally to get exercise. The only way I'll get exercise is if I can pretend to be a Jedi.
Usually our meetings consist of a nice warm-up to get the muscles loosened up, and then we go into practicing forms. We have a couple of different styles we do to practice, and those forms are the basis for future choreography. So you're learning how to sort of theatrically stage a duel between two people.
They walked us through the basic stance of using a lightsaber, some of their basic sweeping motions, which are really cool.
There you go. We build people from the ground up. So we will evaluate, what are your strengths? What weapon works best for you? Because people have different body styles, different backgrounds.
It has a rather short blade but a long stick, and this is what you use when you don't know what you're doing. And so far I've learned to squat, and I've learned to swing, and I've learned to switch it. And then we swing, and we switch it. And we look really good doing it.
All of our stuff is choreographed. Our goal is never to have full contact fighting. We understand sometimes those things happen, but it's never our goal to actually hit someone.
Well, we were looking for a little more affordable saber to work out with, and some of the other companies are fairly expensive. So we looked around trying to find some more affordable alternatives and something to set us apart from the other choreography groups that are out there. So we developed these, which are more of a staff spear type weapon. It basically consists of only three parts: the blade itself, the body, and another piece of metal to just hold the blade securely.
Stepping forward, uncurling, sweep to the legs, and then reset.
It's to train their bodies, first of all, so that they can move and not look awkward and not look clumsy. And for many of us, get in a lot better shape, increase their cardiovascular fitness, increase their endurance, increase their strength, their speed. We have about 5 different speeds. When we're learning and teaching people the movements, we go at 1% speed. We call it Tai Chi speed because you're moving very slowly. With 100% is the speed you can go as fast as you can. 1% is our Tai Chi speed.
No, I'm sorry. I meant as hard as you can. No. I meant really as hard as you can. Okay.
And then we have what we call performance speed, which is 110%. We want you to go as fast as you possibly can.
One more time. There you go.
I feel like I'm getting a workout. My thighs are going to be so mad tomorrow because I sit in front of a computer all day, and now I've been outside. I've been doing squats. I've been swinging. I'm glistening. So it's definitely a workout, and that's about the only way I'm going to get one because the treadmill doesn't do it for me.
The force is strong with these Star Wars fans. You can find more online at lightsaberteam.com. Well, we may be looking at a mild Easter holiday weekend. 80s expected along the coast. It may cool down for the weekend, though. We are looking at 80s and 70s in the inland areas. Plenty of sunshine in the mountains. Much cooler, though, in the 60s. 80s and 90s expected in the desert areas. Here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. As we enter a fourth year of drought, the rush is on for plants that can survive with barely any water. We'll have more on Morning Edition tomorrow on KPBS Radio. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.